Hi, this is Connor Ratliff giving a brief audio commentary just at the top of this video, just to help explain what it is. If you follow the current on-screen text, that should give you some idea of it, but I figured I'll just double down and do a brief little explainer of what this is. Basically, every month at UCB, I do this show, Connor Ratliff Presents the Acting Class, a one-person improvised show that pretends to be a real acting class. And normally, one of my friends, Keith Haskel or Tom Levin, will film the show so that I have a permanent copy of it for people to watch. But on the April 30th edition, both of them were there, so we filmed it with two cameras. And then when I was editing the footage together, I placed one person's footage on top of the other and reduced the opacity so I could see them both at the same time. And I really liked the way that the images sort of inadvertently danced with one another. So I thought, I'm gonna release a version of this where you can see it like that. So here it is, the double vision experience. Enjoy!
Hello everyone, my name is Connor Ratliff, and this is Connor Ratliff Presents the Acting Class. Thank you for coming out tonight to attend this. For the past month, I have been in Hollywood filming a motion picture. I can't tell you anything about that movie yet, but I can speak in very vague terms and relate some of the things that have affected me in my experience. As you can see, I want to be fully transparent tonight. I have a camera person on stage. If you would prefer to watch the screen, this is now an option. Like at many major sporting events or concerts, sometimes people prefer what is on screen to what is on stage. It just gives you a different option. At some points I might actually play to the camera in a way that makes you feel like you don't want to see, or maybe you feel like you're getting a glimpse behind the curtain, like a little bit, you're seeing something you weren't meant to be seeing, although this is the show. All of this. And please don't be distracted. Let this be value added for your experience, because even though I trained as an actor on two continents, North America and the United Kingdom, part of Europe, and just to be clear, I don't think it's because I said two continents, I didn't want people to think I thought that the United Kingdom was a continent. I know that it's not. And most of my training was for the stage, but most of my work has been for the camera. And the audience exists somewhere out there in reality watching a screen. But as a performer, the audience is right there. And you can, I hadn't anticipated that our height differentials would affect what I do so much, because I want you to be comfortable because you're holding the camera. No, that's fine. It's fine, but as you can see, what you see and what the camera sees are very different. The camera, you're not getting my legs, are you? Okay, angle it, all right. So what the camera sees, what I give to the camera takes it all. The camera is insatiable, but can be satisfied with the tiniest of morsels. In fact, you can overfeed the camera, if I may extend this metaphor, where acting is food and the camera is some sort of mouth leading to a digestive system, which in this case would be, let's say, post-production, editing, effects, sound mixing, color correction. Those are the things that a stomach and the various parts of the body would do to create a product. The metaphor breaks down, not always, though I do have high hopes for the film that I worked on. I want to talk to several people during the course of this show. First of all, I like to always start off by getting a general sense of the people who have attended this class. How many of you identify as actors? How many of you do not identify as actors? I'm not asking, don't volunteer. I'm just laying out what the questions will be so that we don't end up with a third category that we can't account for. Because I always ask who thinks they're an actor, who doesn't think they're an actor, and then I ask who didn't answer, and then we sometimes are left with a third mysterious category that is neither fish nor fowl. All right, now that I've laid it out, who here in the audience identifies as an actor, and that you would say, I am an actor, or I have acted in some capacity that one would consider conventionally acting. All right? And who absolutely, no, I'm not an actor, I've never acted, no school plays, no pageants, nothing. All right. Once again, the audience reflects the American people. This is the reason why we are constantly under threat of civil war coming to this country surely any year now. But in this particular terrain, we have no conflict because actors need non-actors to watch the acting without envy. Because if you're an actor and your audience is only actors, you're not going to get a pure response. Because I can say this, I don't like going to plays. I don't like going to plays. Because I always feel when I'm in the audience of a play, if it's bad, well, we'll deal with that in a second. If it's good, and I'm sitting in the audience, all I can think is, why aren't I on stage also doing the play? And if it's bad, and this is one of my most antisocial impulses that exist within me, when I am in the audience of a play that is bad or that is going badly, I genuinely have had the thought in the audience, why don't we stop this? Because with a movie, you know it's locked. You're watching a bad movie, they've finished it. This is a finished project. The play is a living thing as you're watching it, and it can be altered. Either by an audience standing up and saying, and I'm not advocating for this. This is not part of what I'm teaching you. I'm just telling you about myself. I have had the thought that I could stand up in the audience and say, why are we allowing this to continue? We could stop it right now! All of us! The other thought I've had, which is slightly more ambitious, I was sitting in a theater not unlike this, watching a play that was very dull. And I started to feel the impulse to join the play as a new character who's not part of the script, just to liven things up. Now this is wrong. Even a bad production, they've worked very hard to make what they've made. And what I have considered genuinely doing would have been, I admit, an act of artistic terrorism. And this is why I don't go to the theater. Because I can't trust myself that I won't just get up and join the play. I was a new person who's like, Lisa, what are you doing? Lisa, what are you doing? Mom said you weren't supposed to be here tonight. Don't act like you don't know me, Lisa. Because I hate whatever they do to try to counter, like, you're not supposed to be here, it's not part of the play. Play? What play? Oh, don't act like we're in a play, Lisa. I know it'd be good. I know if I did it, there'd be a part of it that'd be like, this is good, it's getting better. Like when Lisa's brother Eric enters the play, things start to come alive in a way that feels completely unlike everything that's happened before. So I don't work in the theater very often. That is where my training lies. I want to talk to someone here. First, we're going to start with an actor, one of the actors. I want to talk to an actor. Is there an actor among you who is currently working? In that, like, this evening, you're not working, but you're in the middle of a thing that's not yet over. It's in progress. Any actual functioning working actors? No? All right. Anyone who's worked in the last month? We can do this. We just widen the scope. Pull back until eventually we arrive at something close to a desired result. Last month, 2 months, the last 6 months. An actor who's worked in the last 6 months. Okay, 8 months. Yes?
I have a son that's working, going on now, but I wouldn't consider myself like a professional. But I am getting paid for it.
Okay, I like all of these caveats that you're providing me very defensively right off the bat. So you have something that's going on right now.
It's a play, yeah.
It's a play that's happening right now. You were afraid to speak up a moment ago. That's fine. I realize that this is intimidating. It's my fault. I have an energy. I know this. I've been doing this show for almost a year. And one thing I've learned is that I have a demeanor that naturally makes audience members think, I do not want to participate in whatever this is. Which is a problem for this show. But not really, because I can always soften it and then revert to form once we're all ready. But you have nothing to fear from me, you understand? Hold on, I'll get to you. All right? The one thing you will know is that I control the pace of this. All right? Calm down. This is going to go great. What's your first name? Dylan. Spelled with an I or a Y?
Why?
Why not? Not a legitimate question. That was a nervous reaction on my part. So D-Y-L-A-N, like Robert Zimmerman.
Yes.
Yes, a complete unknown. Well, we're going to get to know you tonight, Dylan. So you're in a play that is currently ongoing. You're in the middle of the run.
It's not performing.
It's not performing. You're in the rehearsal. Okay. What is the play about?
It's about a 1930s radio show writer's room.
Play about a 1930s radio show writer's room. What's the title of the play, Dylan?
Thank you, Don Amici.
Thank You, Don Amici, a wonderful actor, no longer with us. I look to heaven, though I don't believe in it. I'm not suggesting that Mr. Amici is burning in hell. I don't believe in that either, unless it is the current reality in which we are all confined. And by that I don't mean this show, I mean this country. And this world. So Dylan, Thank You, Don Amici is the name of the play. Is it a new play or an old play? I'm not familiar with it.
Original play by a guy who's never written a play.
An original play by a guy who's never written a play before. These are exciting times. You said before you don't consider yourself a professional actor. Sure?
Yes,
You said it, not me. Don't act like it. Dylan. Sure, yeah, whatever.
Yes.
I am repeating what you said to me. Do not gaslight me, Dylan. I will come for you. Dylan, why don't you consider yourself a professional actor? Are you getting paid for this?
Yes.
That is all it takes. Once you get money for acting, you are a professional actor. I'm not going to ask how much. I assume not a fortune, a modest amount.
I haven't been paid yet. So
Okay. That's not on you, though. Like if someone, I'll say this. If someone promises to pay you for acting, and you start acting, and they don't pay you, you are still a professional. Delinquency in payment does not detract from who and what you are. No, it's true. I normally don't allow applause during the show, but for that, a one-time waiver, yes. Do you think there's a chance they're not going to pay you?
No, I think they're just going to pay us after the performance.
Yeah, that's how I normally, totally normal. But there's a little part of in the back of your mind is like maybe they're going to like skip town without paying.
No.
Not at all?
No.
0% chance?
0%.
Wow, okay. I don't know why you even brought up the possibility of why. All right, so.
I hadn't been paid yet, so technically, like, because you were like, you've been paid for acting, you're a professional.
Don't worry, I'm not going to get pedantic on you. Not about that, about other things, yes. What is your role? Have you been in plays before?
Like my high school play.
Okay, what was your high school play?
It was called The Boarding House Reach, and it was like a play where they could just get all the seniors to be able to be in a play together.
It was a play where they could just like get all the seniors to be in a play together.
They're like, if you guys audition, we'll cast you.
Okay, this sounds like a great deal.
Yeah.
They just said to the seniors, if you guys want to be in the play, you can be in this play. And what was the title again?
The Boarding House Reach.
The Boarding House Reach. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You were in the play. You never were able to unlock the title? The Boarding House Reach is the name of the boarding house. Reach? Is the boarding house, what does it mean? It's the way that the boarding house is able to acquire people to stay within it? Is it the region? Like, this boarding house can only really accommodate people from these 5 counties. That is our reach. What is the reach in that title?
So, the story is like a kid's parents goes away and he lets people stay at the house. So I guess it's like, well, this is a boarding house. Boarding house, but like, that concept is a bit of a reach, maybe.
Okay. I'm baffled by this title. What was your role? You were part of the ensemble?
I was like the kid's best friend.
The kid's best friend.
Very good.
That feels like a big part. I was immediately thinking of the movie Big and how Josh Baskin has a best friend who's a big part of that movie. Were you like that? Were you like Josh Baskin? Have you ever seen that movie Big?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question that's a complete, I apologize. I apologize for this indulgence. Do you think that Josh Baskin has a dad in the movie Big? Or is he being raised by a single mom?
I don't remember it that well.
Okay. Makes me want to talk to somebody else. Who remembers the movie? I'll get back to you, Dylan. You've seen the movie Big? You're really familiar with it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like Josh Baskin has a dad?
I mean, he put on his clothes when he became big.
That's right, he puts on his dad's clothes.
Yeah. So,
But that's how you know he has a dad, because there's clothes?
So unless it's the mom's lover.
Yeah. Well, but that's crazy, though, right? In that movie, that like I always grew up thinking, yeah, he's a single mom who's raising him. There's a scene where they go to the fair, where he goes up to the girl. I'm so sorry for this diversion about the movie Big, but I am genuinely fascinated by it, and I will tie it back to acting somehow. There's a scene where they go to the fair, and there's a guy there, and then at one point, the girl that Josh has a crush on when he's too short to get on the ride, she says, "Josh, aren't those your parents?" And it cuts to them, and they wave and embarrass him. And that's the only scene in the movie where the dad is there. And the dad just seems like a friend. There's a longer cut of the movie where the dad's in more scenes, but the scenes are all things like them talking to the police about how their child is probably not going to be found. And they're really depressing, and they really make the whole movie feel so heavy because they really hit home that the whole movie, these parents live in a world of hell where they think that their son is gone or worse. And so the dad is not in the movie.
Right, Ron?
Yeah. It was a good cut, but it's baffling that we don't even notice. Dylan, you play the best friend in The Boarding House Reach. What kind of guy was his best friend? How did you approach the role?
He was like silly, he had a broken arm and a sling.
He was silly, and he had a broken arm. Probably for doing something silly, right? It's like a silly guy.
The line was that he zigged when he should have said.
I zigged when I should have zagged. Is that how you played it?
Yeah.
Really?
My grandma, after seeing it, said that I was like too wobbly and had a lisp.
A note? I grew up with a lisp. A note from your grandmother that you were too wobbly
I was like,
and you shouldn't have talked with a lisp. Do you agree with those notes?
I don't know. I wrestled with it for a little bit.
As you should have done. You wrestled with it. Did you get these notes during the run of the show, or once it was too late to change it?
I think we only did it twice, and it was probably after the second one. So
It was too late. But so you wrestled with it as like, what did I do? And I played this kid who I zigged when I should have zagged. It broke my arm. I zigged when I should have zagged. Wobbly? Like you played it wobbly, right? I zigged when I should have zagged. He's my best friend. His parents are gone, and everybody's gonna stay at their house, I guess. It's the boarding house. It's kind of a reach. That was the last time you acted. Now what is the role in Thank You, Don Amici? What's the part?
It's this like writer's room has like been going on. It existed for a while. This is the guy, my character's first day.
He's the rookie in the writer's room, this radio show. And this is in the 1930s? Great Depression, FDR is president. Your country, is this a comedy show, a radio comedy show?
Yeah.
So he's a comedy writer.
Yeah.
Is he a jokester?
He's described as a sketch construction. So he's more like big picture.
He sees the big picture. So he's a new guy. He's got his suitcase full of sketches, big ideas for what could be really funny on this radio show. Right? This country needs laughs right now. This country needs laughs. do you bring the list back for this? Dylan? No? So you're doing it sans lisp. What's the name of your character?
Howard.
Howard? Howard?
Yeah.
Does he go by Howard or Howie?
He goes by Howard, and they say that if he went by Howie, he'd be easier to insult.
That's what the other... That's what the other writers on the show say?
Yeah.
Kid, you need a nickname. You go by Howie, you'd be easier to insult. Right? What's the most intense thing you have to do as Howard in this show?
I give a little monologue of like why, like how I came up through like sketch world, like how listening to the show inspired me and how cool it is to be working on the show.
And what's the conflict in that monologue?
One of the writers on the show is going to leave to try to do movies, and so I'm.
What's that character's name?
Phil.
Phil. You can't leave. What, for Hollywood, for the movies? That's not what America needs right now. Phil, let me tell you something. When I was growing up, when we had the radio on, I'd listen to sketch comedy. And my whole family would laugh. My dad works down in the coal mine. The bottom. They got him at the very bottom. He's the low man. The low man in the mine. They make him go all the way down. Nobody else goes down that deep. They call him the Canary. Some nickname. America doesn't need movies right now, Phil. America needs radio. Movies cost a nickel. Who's got a nickel to spare for a movie? Whereas if you got a radio, you already paid for it. The laughs are free, Phil. Don't go, Phil. I just got here. It was my dream to write with great writers of radio comedy like Phil Mankiewicz and Rodney Mankiewicz. And here I am. And you're taking that dream away from me, Phil. Don't go, Phil. Oh no, my lisp is coming back. Phil, I had the confidence to write for the radio when I thought I was surrounded by all my comedy heroes. But if you leave, my lisp will come back and I'll get all wobbly. Don't go, Phil. I beg of you. Don't go. Look at that. He went right out the door and flickered the lights on his way out. I see your hand, Phil! In or out? How close to the monologue is that? No! I allowed a one-time intro applause, and then no more. No matter what I say, do not applaud until the end of the show. How close is that to your monologue? Be honest. I don't care if it's close.
The monologue is more about like his experience rather than like saying.
Oh, he doesn't talk about Phil that much. He doesn't talk about America. But the subtext. What do you think the subtext is? I think it's all about. No.
Like this show is important and inspiring to people, and
Yeah.
you're doing important work. Don't feel like you need to do something better.
That doesn't sound like it's about him at all. Yeah. You nervous? Not now. Are you nervous about the play?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know what.
You don't know why you're not nervous.
I don't know what there would be to be nervous. I mean, I guess like things going wrong or forgetting lines.
That's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You're confident the play is good. You will be good in it.
Yeah.
You have no reason to be nervous, Dylan. You know that?
Yeah.
You've learned so much before you even set foot in this class. There is no reason to ever be nervous about what is going to happen in a play you were in. I'm not saying you're wrong if you feel nervous, but if you don't feel nervous, don't feel like there's something wrong with you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because you seemed a little nervous at the beginning of our conversation. And this is meaningless. When does your play start?
In July.
You've got so much time. So much time. Well, best of luck to you, Dylan. I want to talk to a non-actor now. Someone who does, right next to Phil. Or not Phil. Phil is the character. Right next to Dylan. You're not an actor. Are you with Dylan here?
Yeah, I was really just scratching my ear, but I'm happy.
No. Because if that was a lie and you just chickened out, it was well acted. Because it did look a little bit like an ear scratch, and I believed you when you said, I was really just scratching my ear, and I don't want to talk to you. Is there a non-actor who's willing to talk to me? Yes, you.
Yes.
You're not an actor.
No, I'm a software engineer.
A software engineer.
Yeah.
And you're leaning forward as if to challenge me. What are you going to do with this? I'm a software engineer.
It's like the furthest thing from acting ever, but yes, I do something.
No, I think murder is the furthest from acting. Because acting is life, and to take a life, that's not what actors should do. I just think software engineering is far away, but it's not as far away as murder.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you do confidently feel, I sense an eagerness in you
Yeah.
to say what I have to say to you as a software engineer, perhaps is, because I don't know that field. Coding?
Coding, yes.
Oh, all day. Coding?
Yes.
Coding?
Yes.
You, what kind of computer do you what's your work situation like most of the time? Sitting, standing?
I sit down, I have a monitor, and I have a Mac, and some software engineers have 2 monitors.
Right?
Some of them have 3 monitors.
Yeah? How many do you have?
I just have 1.
You don't need 3 monitors. What a bunch of show-offs. 3 monitors. I can do all my coding just with the 1 monitor. I'm a single monitor man. SMM. Single monitor man. Do you interact with other people in your work?
I do. I have my coworkers sitting to the right of me. One of them sits in front of me.
One of them sits in front of you as a challenge?
Right. Honestly, I kind of do, because I have a sitting desk and he has a standing desk, and he's always standing.
He's always standing. Do you talk to him? Do you say like, hey, what's their name?
Haskel?
Hasne? If you say Hasne, why are you standing? Why do you sit like me?
Probably because productivity or whatever, but what bothers me is he looks over his monitor and he looks directly at me sometimes.
So are you friends?
We are friends, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't like this. This is a thing that makes you like. Have you talked about it with him?
No, I mean, I just moved desks like a week ago, so I'm trying to play it off, but it's I don't know.
Play it off. Play is the thing, isn't it? Try to play it off. Here we are, minutes into our conversation. You're already using the verb that we're all here to talk about. To act is to play, and the play is the thing. So how do you try to play it off? I didn't get. What's your name? First name?
I'm Anuj. Anuj.
How do you spell that?
A-N-U-J.
Anuj.
Yes.
And his name is, so I'm getting the consonants right, Hafni?
Hasnain.
Hasnain?
Yeah, Hasnain.
Hasnain.
Hasnain, yes.
And you're Anuj.
Anuj, yes.
And you try to play it off with Hasnain.
Yes.
So Hasnain stands, position me correctly. I want to set the scene correctly here. So where is he in relation to you?
So I'm here.
All right, no, to use me as tell me where to go.
Okay.
So this is where you are, and I'm going to put your monitor right here. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put your monitor right here.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
And I want to be able to create a stage picture. And where's Hasnain?
Hasnain is literally standing on the other side of that box, and he's standing, and he's coding.
Here?
Yeah, right
Facing
here.
you?
We're literally like standing right across from each other.
Okay.
Separated by our monitors.
All right.
Yes.
So you're here, sitting,
Yeah.
and Hasnain is right here.
Yes. Yes. And his monitor, you can see down onto me. Like,
Yeah. So he can't see what's on your monitor, though.
No, that'll be crazy.
Yeah. So he's like this, and he just does his work, and he looks right at you, and then you are right here, and you're like. How long has this been going on?
I mean, we moved to this seat arrangement like a week ago.
Okay.
And I need to mention this. So that was so weird because he messaged me on work chat. And then
And you get that on your monitor?
What?
You get that message on your monitor?
Yeah. And then sometimes I look for him too.
So you message him back?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like kind of pressured to message him back, even though I just want to work.
Yeah. What's a typical message from him that you would get when he's looking right at you?
Well, he wants me to review his code, and so he's like, review this code ASAP, or can you review this code fast? And he really wants me to review his code.
All right. So that's his want.
Yeah.
And you want him to stop messaging you
Yeah.
and stop standing there. You'd rather him. So now we get to the part, I know your want in this, and I think we know his want. He wants you to review his code ASAP.
Yes. Yeah.
Because fundamentally, these are the building blocks of any dramas. What do the characters want?
Yeah.
And what is in conflict here? And it seems like for two friends who work together,
Yeah.
it seems like there's a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Now here's what I'm fascinated by. How do you play it off? You said, I'm trying to play it off. Because you haven't had a conversation with him. You haven't had the conversation where you say, well, first I'll send it as a message. Hey, can we talk? And then he will send a message back saying, sure, what about? And you're like, I'm going to go off, last name. I'm going to stand, if that's okay. I'm going to meet you on your level because I feel like, Hassan, can I just ask you, do you like our physical work setup? You do. Can I be honest with you, Hassan? I don't like it. I don't like that you're standing and I'm sitting. I don't like that you're looking down at me. I don't like that you send messages on the work chat rather than just talking to me when we're in the same room. Okay? I don't care what you like. I like sending message to you rather than saying stuff out loud. I like seeing the moment when you get the message. It sends a thrill down my spine. And I know that I've typed something on it's a miracle of modern science. I can type words on little buttons, and then they go through the air and through the wires just a few feet. They teleport, and you see them on your screen, a completely different machine. And then I can always tell from the way your face shifts when you get the message from me. I like how it feels. It makes it feel like we're really using our machines. And I like standing because it makes me feel like I'm the stronger of the two of us. And maybe that's because there's a part of me that's a little intimidated by you. Like I'm afraid that you won't like me if I'm not superior to you in some way. Like I know we're friends, but like even the fact that you had all these things that you didn't like about me and you didn't say them, you just tried to play it off. Makes me wonder, are we really that good of friends if you're scared of what I'll say? Like, Anuj, you can say anything to me. If you don't like something, I don't want to do it if you don't like it. Well, what are we going to do now? I'm not going to do. Should I start standing? Or will you sit? Or like, could we alternate days? Or maybe we could switch places? Maybe we could switch places every day. Would that be okay? We could try it. Maybe for one day. But if I don't like it, I don't want to keep doing it. Okay? Okay? What does that mean? Why did you jut your head forward? I'm going to tell you, I didn't like that in you. Do you think a conversation like that would be something healthy to happen?
You know, it would be a tough conversation to have with him, I guess.
Why? Why? He likes you. You like him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it would be tough because, like, I'm just getting to know him, and I want to make sure I'm on his good side. So
Right.
I don't want to like be confrontational, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to play it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to build a good relationship with them.
I think that's admirable. I think that's a good impulse. But I don't think you should do it. I think you're delaying the inevitable. I want to say I'm not trained in anything helpful for life. I just know how to act, which is just pretending to entertain people. So please don't take this advice. You are delaying the start of your scene. Now, admittedly, most works of drama are about terrible things happening because scenes start and action needs to happen and it needs to be interesting. So when I say to you that you must speak with him about these things that you were thinking, do not mistake this for healthy advice. But Anuj, you have to tell him. You can't just keep this bottled up. Every day he stands there above you, sending you messages. Do you think that he thinks that you like those messages?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You think there's a chance he knows you don't like these messages?
Yeah, because he keeps on sending them. He keeps on just tagging me with them.
You think his motives are antagonistic towards you?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get me to review his code.
Right. Why are you reviewing his code? Why won't you review his code? It's all I want! It's all to review my code! Review my code! He won't do it! I'll keep sending him messages from on high!
It's like really sketchy because he wants me to review it before the West Coast folks come online.
Please, Anuj! Please! Before the West Coast folks come online! Please! Review my code! Please! Review my code! Do you know what ASAP stands for? It stands for as soon as possible! Please! The West Coast folks are coming! If the code is unreviewed when the West Coast folks get here, I don't know what I'll do! Hey! Hi, everybody! I'm the first of the folks from California. Oh, is this where the code is? Oh, awesome. It's a pretty good code. Yeah, some of the other, they're just parking. The rest of the folks from the West Coast are parking. And I said, I'll just run on in and take a look at this code. It's pretty good. It's pretty good code. Do you guys check on each other's, you review each other's code? You really, because that's the one thing I think is missing. This looks like this was done by a solitary coder. Loner, lone wolf, maybe no friends. Looks like it was unreviewed. This looks like raw, rough draft code. I can always tell this looks like a first pass. If there was a second or third pass on the code, it was done by the same guy who coded it. You can always tell when the review's a self-review as opposed to a peer review. I don't know, it's typical stuff. Typical code. I don't know what's keeping the other guys. They were looking for, it's hard, there's not a lot of parking here. And you don't do valet. I don't know. It's good code. It could have been great code. I hate that we flew all the way out here. You know, you two seem like you have a good rapport, a good dynamic. I don't know if you're afraid to upset the apple cart. We don't run this software company so that you can be friends with each other. We want people to push back, have some give and take. Review each other's code. All right? Really? I'm serious. I'm being serious here, all right? Listen, you know, I started out coding. I was on a team with a bunch of guys that I considered my dearest and nearest friends. And I remember our best bud, Jackson. He was always hounding me, you know, he'd say like,
Hey, can you review my code? I was reluctant to, you know. I thought I didn't want to rock the boat. I don't want to, you know, say something that's going to make him like not like me anymore. Because Jackson and I, we were like this. We were like this. I tell you what, those days, they were heavenly. And then one day, I said to myself, oh my, what's this? It's my best friend's code. I almost burst into song. I said, my friend Jackson, he's written lovely code. What did I worry about? I couldn't be open with my best friend, my best friend. I should have been more open with him, my best friend. So many wasted years. We could have been so close, and I was oh so scared of my best friend. Because he'd written some pretty good code. I feel like I wasted a lot of time being scared when I could have been closer. And then my friend Jackson died in a car crash. I never got to tell him how good his code was. It's haunted me ever since. Anyway, I don't know what lesson we take from that other than don't delay the start of your scene. All right, I don't think the rest of the crew is coming up. I'll see if they texted me. Oh. They couldn't find parking. And they left. They went right back to the airport. The car looks good. All right, dudes. Nice to meet you. Anuj. And, I'm sorry, what was Anuj's friend's name? Haskel. Nice to meet you both. Good work. Check in with each other. Use these little computers to send each other messages. That's why we have you on computers, so you can not talk so much, you can send each other messages. Anuj.
I don't know what the piano stuff was. I don't know if that's some sort of software trick you played on me. Did you hack the show?
I didn't know where it came from.
All right, that sounds like hacker talk. What is it? Are you playing that live?
No, it's from On Golden Pond.
I've never seen it. I'm going to believe that you are in cahoots with the tech, and that you've hacked her system, and that you started to feel emotion during that scene because you realize I'm right about this. Like, you are keeping your scene from happening, and your scene is your life. You're sitting down, your friend and colleague is standing up. He's looking down at you literally and figuratively, and you need to have the conversation. I know it might cause problems. It might make for, I don't know, bad software. Maybe the software will get worse. But I do believe the relationship will be strengthened by even the most gentle entree into a dialogue. Even if you just make the casual observation. Isn't it funny that I sit and you stand? Do you like that? Because he might say, no, I hate it. I wish someone would have offered me a chair. Maybe you can be the hero. You can be the hero. So you're not an actor, but your life is a drama. And you are acting like you like this. You are acting like you like this situation. And you don't.
Like I like to sit down.
You like to sit down, but not with your friend and coworker standing up. You don't like that, right?
No.
But you act like you like it. You act. You act. You act like you like it, and you don't.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
No.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. No boss. I want to speak to another actor. You're pointing to someone else. And he's raising his hand. You're raising your hand?
Yeah.
Do you want to speak?
Yeah, sure.
In what sense are you an actor?
I studied acting.
Yes. Where?
Rider University.
Rider University. When? New Jersey. When?
I graduated in
2020, you graduated. Before or after lockdown? Mid-lockdown?
Yeah.
All right, so you virtually graduated.
Yeah.
When you studied acting, what did you learn? What's the main thing you learned about acting?
Great question.
It is a fantastic question. One of the reasons, in fact, that I asked it is that it was such a good question. What's your first name?
I'm Forrest.
Forrest?
Yeah.
How many R's?
2.
Great. What's the last role you played?
I was Will Rogers in a musical called The Will Rogers
Follies.
Yeah.
You know how to do the roping? Do you do the rope? Tell a joke?
I still got it, yeah.
You still got it? You have a rope on you? See how literal-minded I am. You're like, I still got the rope. I'm ready to tell. What's one of the witticisms that Will Rogers says? Just one clever thing he said. I don't have any on tap. I don't remember any. I know Will Rogers said a lot of clever things.
Yeah. The Democrats always have a better party. It's because they know they're not going anywhere after.
The Democrats always have a better party. It's because they know they're not going anywhere after. Timely. And the whole time, if you don't know what I'm doing here, my image of Will Rogers is that from cradle to grave, he never stops doing this. Just picture a loop expertly going up, down, legs, arms, down the head, over there, and then he'd say things like that. And people were like, that cowboy is clever. How did you approach the role of Will Rogers? Did you do a lot of research?
Yeah. I read a lot of biographies about him. I listened to a lot of radio broadcasts.
Did you try to imitate the cadence, his voice?
Yeah, more or less.
But you also left a little bit of wiggle room for it to be your own.
Yeah, but it's also like, I feel like when you're playing a historical character, it's not necessarily playing exactly who they were, but
Right.
how they're remembered.
And how do you remember Will Rogers?
He's a folksy, approachable, rope swirling guy next door.
He just a guy with a rope who lives next to him. Friendly, approachable, folksy, always saying clever little things.
Yeah.
What was the central drama of his life? What was the big problem? What was his folly?
Well, he got really, really famous.
What?
And then the Depression happened,
He got really famous, then the Depression happened.
and he didn't know how to use his influence.
Right, he's like, I'm just a rich cowboy with a lot of witticisms, and now everyone can't eat. Oh no! Well, that dog don't hunt. What's another witty thing that he said? Oh boy!
I never met a man I didn't like.
I never met a man I didn't like, but I did meet a bunch of people who don't have any jobs. I'm a millionaire now, because of my roping and my wit. And now everyone is sad. Boy, those Democrats sure can be foolish. Sometimes. You can lead a horse to water, but then he's gonna drink the water. You got no water left for yourself. Woo-wee. Oh boy. So then what, he was sad?
Yeah.
You have sad scenes as him? Like, oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. There's like a big like monologue where he's like, "There's as much money as there was, but fewer people have it."
Oh.
And then he dies in a plane crash.
Right. Okay.
And that's the show.
That's the show where he's like, oh boy, this country. Same amount of money as there ever was. Seems like it's in the hands of a few. Not the few you'd wish it to be, that's for sure. Well, my plane's about to take off. Look at me. Like I deserve to be riding an airplane. Doing my rope tricks up in the clouds. Oh well. I wish I had the answers to society's problems instead of a few witty, folksy turns of phrase and a handful of the same fucking rope tricks over and over. Oh, we're boarding the plane? Oh, wonderful. I mean, wonderful for me, not for the people who can barely afford a soup and a sandwich. Oh, boy. Here we go.
into the wild blue yonder. Well, what's that? Oh, okay. Guess I'll put my rope. Hold on. There. I'll see you after the flight, old friend. Oh. Ropey. You and I have been pals since as long as I can remember. And I don't know if I ever said this before, but I love it when you go around my legs and around my arms and around my neck and around my torso up and down while I'm saying things that are folksy and fun with just a little bit of truth squeezed in. See you on the ground, my buddy. Okay. Now there's just a flight and then the rest of my life. What goes up must come down. Not too fast, I hope. Ooh, that's a good one. Feels wrong to say it without Ropey spinning around me. I remember saying, hey, I think that's a left leg remark. I do put a lot of thought into it. It's not just random. I'll come up with a funny thing to say, and I think, what rope trick goes best with that? What goes up must come down. Not too fast, I hope. Feels like the rope should be going down. Maybe when I say what goes up must come down, so it sort of works in counterpoint. Visually, you get a little bit of a contradiction that tells the audience like something's going on. There's a interesting disconnect. What goes up must come down. Not too fast, I hope. Well, that's a day's work right there. Come up with a fun little witticism that has just a kernel of wisdom. And then figure out what kind of rope trick to do with it. I did scrape the chair. Although really, Will Rogers broke this chair. I really believe that.
Because I once damaged the stage here during one of these classes, and I said, I'm not going to do that kind of thing anymore. I used to throw chairs a lot because I thought it was fun. And then there was a point where someone explained to me these chairs are actually really expensive. Don't do that. And I said, I won't. But I committed so fucking hard to the final moments of Will Rogers' life that I broke this chair in a way that I've never seen these chairs broken. But you know, there's people out there can't even afford a broken chair. They'd be happy with just a big pile of sticks to sit on, which is what this is now, just a big pile of sticks to sit on if you want. The seat part works just fine. Look at that. Still good? Or you just stand. You don't have to sit. When they do other shows at this theater, they don't need to have everybody sit, or they can sit like this, just on the front of it. Pierce, I seem to have theatrically broken this chair just by sitting on it. It shattered like glass. I want to thank you for sharing your story of Will Rogers and his folly. Do you feel you learned a lot about the man in portraying him?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure?
Yeah.
How did it change you? because I know how it changed me. I know that what I need to do in the future is to find a way to be equally intense and honest in my portrayal, while physically restraining myself just enough that a human chair won't fracture just from slightly leaning back, charged with the emotional intensity of feeling one's last moments slipping away. Because that is what happened here. I didn't sit on alpha. I gotta find my light. I didn't break this chair because I was being inconsiderate as a performer. I broke this chair because I was being good at acting. Acting broke this chair. If this were a chair on the fatal flight that killed Will Rogers, this chair actually would have been destroyed beyond recognition. It would have been, no, I'm not, because there's still a chance they could do something with this. So the thought had crossed my mind. But I have drawn blood in this show. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, actor or non-actor. I hope you learned something. But if you didn't, that's fine too. Life isn't just about learning. It is also about experiencing and about feeling and about watching and listening and loving and so many other verbs. I could list verbs here all night to you and they would all be valid verbs. Please tell your friends to come to this show in the future. I promise to be kind. I promise to help in whatever way I can, and I promise to give my all in demonstrating what it is to truly act. Class dismissed.